Hi everyone, I'm Michael Styson and this is Mobile Growth Podcast where we discuss how to launch, grow and successfully monetize mobile apps. And today our guest is Thomas Kriebernegg. That's it. So Thomas is the managing director and co-founder of App Radar. He's an app enthusiast with over 15 years of experience in online marketing, and among App Radar's clients are some big game and app publishers like Ironhide, Wargaming, and many others. So, hi Thomas, welcome. And maybe the first question I have is, can you tell us a little bit about App Radar? What it is exactly?
Yes. Hi, Michael. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure for me to be here today. Yeah, well, at App Radar, what we're doing is historically, we're coming very strongly from the App Store optimization side. So this means we have been working on an App Store optimization tool, which can be used by apps and mobile games all around the globe to analyze their visibility within app stores. So how are they ranking for specific keywords, as well as analyze what the competitors are doing, for which keywords are they ranking, for which keywords are they optimizing their apps. And one of the things, one of the unique things of App Radar is that within App Radar, besides analyzing everything that you're doing, you can also really optimize your App Store listing. So this means you can optimize your title, you can optimize your keywords, your description, get a lot of help from our software and our AI, with the goal that you then start ranking higher on relevant keywords for your apps and mobile games. Over the course, we kind of transformed, I would say, a little bit, or we grew. So it's not only about App Store optimization, so it's more into the direction of app marketing, which means that you can also analyze your paid performance marketing activities within App Radar, as well as we're working on cool features that will also help you to improve your campaigns.
And I guess the next question is, like, there are a lot of different verticals on the App Store now. Do you have like any insights? What is like the most trending category now? Let's say if someone listening now is thinking about launching an app, what they should look for? What is hot at the moment?
I think kind of probably an evergreen hot category is gaming, especially because with the lower entrance barrier that you have nowadays, especially looking at the subgenre of casual or hyper casual gaming, which means that these are very small games in terms of time that you need to invest to get the game out in this category. But some of them obviously have seen really great success, have been reaching billions of people on this planet that are playing these games. So I think this is kind of the evergreen category of trending app categories out there. And aside from that, what we have seen over I would say, a couple of last months and weeks is that the fintech sector in its such is also a very trending category within the App Store. Also around crypto, even though crypto is maybe not the best time now at the moment with what is happening out there. But there we have also seen some really cool apps. Also NFT, for example, is one of the trending stuff that is happening there. Yeah?
Let's assume that someone has decided on which category to build the app. They build the app. But what are maybe the key things to remember when you are launching the app? Probably thinking about App Store optimization, like what is the must have things when you are launching the app on the App Stores?
I would probably even go one step a little bit further. Once you have an idea in which kind of category you want to go into, I would suggest the first step before writing any line of code should really be to do an extensive market research, which means for example, also within App Radar, we have really cool features where you can analyze the top charts, as well as you can also analyze the movement of specific apps and games out there, so that you can also see, okay, what is kind of trending, what is going up, what is going down. So I really think that this should be the first step to, once you have a rough idea of, hey, this is where I want to go into the App Store, or as mentioned, use a tool like App Radar where you can do the analysis and really try to identify in more detail what is it that is currently trending. Because also if we look at games, for example, they are very seasonal kind of related as well as they can be impacted by global movie launches, for example. To give one example, when the movie Top Gun was released in summer this year, there has been a spike for games where you are flying like with aircraft, for example, and they have been spiking very much. And this means when you can identify such trends, before they happen, obviously, then it's really great if you have an app or a mobile game that is hitting this trend as soon as it happens, and then you can really ride the wave. Yeah.
And what data specifically can you find in App Radar? Let's say, is it like ranking in the category and ranking by installs? Any
Exactly.
revenue insights?
What you can find within App Radar is rankings within the app stores, and also really historically, I think like maybe even 7 years for a specific category. So 6 to 7 years for specific categories. So this also means you can also look at what happened last summer, kind of, and also get inspiration from there. So on the one hand side, this. On the other hand side, you can also obviously analyze keywords, keyword rankings, and also see how the popularity of specific keywords changes over time as well. So that you can also see, for example, the obvious things, for example, are that around Black Friday, the keyword Black Friday, is spiking because a lot of people are searching for it. So that is kind of the obvious things, but also, really identifying trends is possible as well as we have download estimates for Google Play apps. And looking further into next year, I think we're also going to provide more data there as well, with more specific download information also around iOS apps and maybe also revenue data.
Okay, and so how do you actually define the keywords? Should you include the keywords in the app name? How do you figure out what keywords to use in the description of the app? How do you approach all that?
So I think basically speaking, when we talk about keywords, it is important to know that when we look at a keyword, there are kind of two main factors, I would say, that are, or let's put it like three factors that are relevant for a keyword. The number one is the relevancy of the keyword itself for the app or for the game. What I mean by that is if you have, a dating app, dating is a good keyword, so it is super relevant for this one specific app. But if you have, for example, fitness app and, you want to optimize for dating, that doesn't make too much sense. So therefore, number one, the keyword needs to be relevant to the app or to the game. Step number two, since the app stores are now already, older than 10 years, which also means that there are a lot of apps out there. There are also a lot of old apps out there, which also means there's a lot of competition going on. That is then the factor number two when looking at keywords, is to identify how competitive are those keywords that you kind of want to target. Once again, when we talk about dating, for example, is one of the most competitive keywords on the App Store because it's on the one hand side so easy to understand. On the other hand side, there are so many dating apps out there, and also really, really big ones like Tinder, for example, that are simply dominating this kind of market. And so therefore, it is very important, especially if you have a new app or a new game, that you choose keywords that are not, like the craziest competitive ones. So this is very important from this angle. And the third, when choosing those keywords, this means that you will go for keywords that are not, the most competitive, which also means that less people will search for it, so to say. And therefore, the factor number three is the search volume, which means how many people are searching for a specific keyword within the App Store. And also there, it is important to kind of find the, perfect balance. Because you want to find something, once again, that isn't too competitive, but is being searched for. I would say these are kind of the unicorn keywords, if you can find them, keywords with super high search intent and low competitiveness, the unicorn keywords, yeah. The realistic answer is you will probably need to find somewhere the balance, yeah. But to sum it up, yeah, keyword needs to be relevant, the keyword needs to be not too competitive, and the keyword needs to have a decent search volume so that okay, there is also traffic directed to this keyword.
And to get the data on these keywords, you actually don't need to use, let's say, App Radar or some other solution, but you have to make decisions based on data, not like on the intuition, not what you think is popular.
Yes, that would be my high recommendation. Yes, to be honest, a tour is obviously something that can help you, to get the job done. Yeah, I would say it's theoretically also possible without a tour, but then I would say probably the time invest that you need to put into, especially if you think of also localizing the app into different markets or languages. then, the time will be just, I don't know, 100, maybe even 1,000 times more that you have to put into. So therefore, the shortcut is to use a tool like App Radar. It comes with a lot of AI in the background. So this means it also gives you recommendations for keywords. It also gives you an overview of which keywords are the competitors targeting. So therefore, I would simply put it as a shortcut to get to better results.
I think the next super important issue and something all of developers are thinking when they're launching the app are the screenshots, right?
Yes.
You have to show the screenshots, and probably you can put completely different stuff there. So, and I think it's changing over time what works and what doesn't work there. So, what's your advice on that side?
Yeah, really great topic. Yeah, when we talk about app store optimization, I would say on a high level we can sum it up on the one hand side, really ranking for specific keywords or optimizing towards two specific keywords. On the other hand side, it's exactly the topic that you just brought up, which is I would sum it up under conversion rate optimization. And one of the tools that you have to optimize your conversion rate within the app store is by optimizing your visuals, which means your screenshot as well as your app icon. Because I mean, most of us human beings, like we're very visual, creatures. So this means we look at something and then we decide within, a friction of a second, okay, we like it or we do not like it,
Yeah.
Exactly the same happens within the App Store. And so therefore screenshots are, one of the major kind of decision drivers there. And so therefore it is very important to, once again, get the gut feeling out of the way and to do testing. The cool thing is you can perform A/B tests of screenshots within the Google Play Store as well as within Apple App Store. So this means you can really, find out what is working the best, come up with two variants, and then you always kind of try to iterate on the thing that is working well. And then you can really, improve your conversion rate a lot.
I know that Apple has relatively recently introduced some tools to A/B test creatives like screenshots specifically. Do you use it? Do you recommend to use it to your clients?
Yes, totally. Yeah. So that is a really nice tool. Yeah, because once again, it helps you, to understand what is working and what is not. So therefore, it's really great. I would go even one step further because also Apple recently released custom product pages, which means, in other words, that you can define specific versions of your App Store listing, or we could also say landing pages of your App Store listing, so to say. And the cool thing is when you connect this with Apple Search Ads, you can then really also think of building kind of customized user journeys. What I mean by that is, for example, if you have an app which enables you to do bookings for flights, but also enables you to do bookings for hotels, this is, like two kind of separate topics with also different keywords, different search requests. And the cool thing about custom product pages is you can really build customized journeys, so to say. So in other words, when somebody is searching for, I want to book a hotel, then you have a custom product page that is highly optimized with the screenshots towards to this, for example, showing amazing hotels, the best hotels on the world, for example, or something like that, to really convince people, hey, that looks really nice, yeah. Compared to when people are searching for booking a flight, then you show on the first screenshots, for example, that you have the cheapest flight possibilities or something like that, And what you're doing by that is you're building really customized user journeys, and you're kind of, this is, I would say, the end goal somehow of App Store optimization, that you want to make it as easy as possible for potential users out there to understand that the app that you are providing is exactly the, what they are looking for, so to say.
Yeah, and also I think it's interesting to experiment with on the Apple's platform with App Store search ads, and basically you can improve your organic traffic with these very targeted keywords.
Exactly. Yeah. The beauty about Apple Search Ads is that, obviously you have to pay, it's an ad network. So you have to pay that you're seen on the App Store. But the beauty of it is that you can really also test the specific keywords and see if these keywords also help you to convert, on the App Store, but also looking further down the funnel, hopefully also help you to convert into paying users at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Which means with the help of Apple Search Ads, you can do a lot of research, identifying those keywords. And once you figured out which ones are the best, then you can also start optimizing for those on the ASO side. Because generally speaking, ASO is an amazing tactic, but it is a long-term game.
Yeah.
So it's not something where, like you see results within one day. It can take, a couple of months even if you're targeting very competitive keywords. And so therefore, Apple Search Ads can be really a shortcut in terms of research, in terms of finding the best keywords.
What is a good timing to start experimenting with other paid channels? Apple Search Ads is great, but I guess it's kind of hard to grow to really a large company with just organic search or Apple Search Ads, and you do need to try other channels as well. What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, exactly. I mean, there are still some, but these is like really the minority, of apps out there in the App Store that somehow manage it only to work through ASO, for example, or only through Apple Search Ads as a channel. But as mentioned, I think this is getting more and more the minority. And as you just brought up, I also think that more and more it will go into the direction of having a really mix of different channels. So kind of the marketing term for it is omnipresence, which means that you want to be seen, or you want that your potential users out there, your target audience, sees your app no matter on which kind of platform they are. Yeah. I mean, obviously, depending on your app, it should also be that you always think of, okay, who is my target audience and kind of which, other apps are they using? Where would it make sense that I distribute my ads as well? So what I mean, for example, in more detail, if you have, a purely business app, that only has a focus on solving a business problem, then probably, for example, TikTok might not be the right channel, right? Might be that, for example, LinkedIn could be a way better channel for that, or maybe also, Google Ads or something like that. But so therefore, it is very important to think of, okay, on which channels can I reach my perfect target audience? And I think the best timing to think about this is once again already when starting out. Yeah, so before you start, so to say, or within the launch, what you normally need to do, anyways, nowadays is you need to have also some budget reserved for running ads, because only organic does not work anymore for launching new apps. As mentioned, it's a long term, and you're not getting any downloads. So this in the beginning, so this will not work out. So therefore, it is probably already a good idea to think of, before launching the app, where do I find my perfect target audience and distribute some ads there.
Yeah, just remember that back in the days, maybe in the early days of App Store, there were companies that were providing so-called like motivated traffic, where you can actually increase your downloads, and it's like artificial downloads done by, I don't know, bots or someone, and this can like improve your ranking. How does this exist on the App Store now, and how Apple or Google thinks about this?
Yes, especially on the Apple App Store, I would say they're still. I would say, like the let's say the effect in the background that is still, completely there. Yeah. So the effect in the background is, once you're getting more downloads than other apps, you will start to climb up, for example, in the top charts, but also on keyword rankings. Yeah, because one of the major ranking factors within the App Store is the amount of downloads that you're getting in a specific time frame. Yeah. So in other words, the most downloaded app will be the number one in the in the App Store, so to say. And obviously there are tactics out there, like what you just mentioned, incentivized downloads and stuff like that, or also bot downloads that kind of bring in downloads, kind of, play into this. Okay, this app is getting more downloads and it's going up. So the effect is still there. However, I would say on Google side, the bot detection is already at a very advanced level. So therefore, I think bot installs on Google are nearly impossible. On Apple side, I also do not have any recent, examples in the back of my head that I heard from somebody that it is still working. So I also think that it's kind of dead over there. So I think it changed a little bit over time. Yeah. But one of the things that somehow still is there are incentivized downloads. That is still somewhere existing. Yeah, there are some app networks, even though it's not fully, in terms of Apple and of Google, but there still somewhere is. It is also a bit of a shady, gray, maybe black hat tactic to use it. So therefore, I also have to say we're not recommending this to our
Yeah.
customers and users. Yeah. Because the threat is that the app can also be deleted,
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to say that if Apple detects it, I think it goes against their terms and they can entirely remove your app from the App Store. So
Exactly.
probably it's not a good idea to even
Yeah.
try this.
Yeah, it's just one of the things that we realize, when our customers come to us and say, "Hey, we have seen this at our competitors. This is a very strange behavior. We have no idea why they are climbing so fast. Also, very targeted keywords and stuff like that. Only on
Mm-hmm.
this one keyword, why are
Mm-hmm.
they climbing so much?" Then I would say, out of experience, I can already tell. Yeah, probably it's somehow incentivized or maybe even through bots. But as mentioned, we have also seen a lot of those issues then solving themselves because the apps simply got removed from the app stores itself. Yeah.
Got it. Thomas, thank you. I think we have a great overview of launching the app and what to focus from App Store optimization. Maybe you have something you personally would like to talk about, to share.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just to round it up, yeah,
Uh-huh.
for the people who are listening to this topic and are interested and are curious in how to launch an app, how to launch a game, I just want to refer a little bit to our blog here at appradar.com, where we have a lot of articles as well as checklists around how to launch mobile apps and how to launch mobile games. I personally even wrote an article how to build up a mobile gaming studio from scratch. So I think for the people interested in this topic, there is a lot of follow-up material which I can recommend.
Got it. So that's where people should head to kind of grab some knowledge on this subject. And how our listeners can find you personally on Twitter, on LinkedIn? What's the best way to
Exactly.
connect?
Exactly. Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, I would say. Also TikTok are kind of my main channels. Yeah. I would say the easiest probably is to add me on LinkedIn.
Thanks so much, Thomas. It was a great conversation.
Thank
Thank
you very
you.
much, Michael, for having me. I also enjoyed it. Thank you.